All right, guys, so today is Monday. It's right before where this vlog is gonna hit, and I wanted to give a quick update from this past Saturday, rather. Sorry, I had to think about that. We got my bike ready to be pulled. The motor is ready to be yanked out of here. Everything is prepped, ready to go. We kind of cleaned it up a little bit, kind of detailed her up a little bit here, just so we're not pulling a complete wreck. I mean, it was a little dirty, so... but we got everything kind of ready to go here. And so yeah, this motor's going to be pulled. We're waiting on some parts to come in for it. We've got a few little components. We swapped the shock out. We've got the Max ECU in for it. This is a Max ECU Sport. So this is one that we just had around the shop. So we're going to see if we can get away with it based on what we want to do. We might be upgrading to the race. We'll see. Kind of playing out the options right now. We're going to look at the specs and see if that is what we're going to roll with. But all in all, we got this thing pretty much prepped. Once we get the engine out, we're going to flip the bike around, and then I'm going to pull the front end apart, and we're going to get the forks off. So these were the first set of forks that I ever cut. So I didn't really go too crazy when I cut these. I only cut about 1.5 inches or so out of these forks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut them a lot more, and we're going to slam this thing down. So we're going to get this thing as low as I'm allowed to go for the class rules, and then we're gonna put her all back together with the new motor, or the motor all redone, I should say, with it being built and the turbo kit all back on there. So, but I just wanted to give an update with you guys, let you guys kind of know where we ended on Saturday, and show you guys kind of where the bike is sitting. So another bike that I wanted to talk about is something that we haven't talked about in a little bit now, because we finally came out with a final game plan for it. Yes. Yep. This is the 05 GSXR1000 turbo that we have been working on. So we are in the final stages. The reason why we have a blue tank on it right now, this is a temporary tank. That was the last piece that we needed to get sent off to the painter to get it all painted. So the bike is getting painted. It's going to be all just kind of a gloss black, a very, very clean gloss black color. We were trying to do an OEM plastic theme, and we were kind of going back and forth, and it just became kind of more of a hassle. It became more of an ordeal than it was worth. So it just got to the point where we just said, screw it. Let's just, to make it look clean, let's just go with an all black. That way, no matter what, it'll all flow together. Now, things like this, these are the little details. We're going to take that off before the dyno session. We've got the fueling system all figured out. There are some things that we changed, like the plenum, and there is a very specific reason why we changed this plenum. So, long story short, Sean and I, we've been going back and forth on how to tune these bikes properly, these turbo bikes. We wanted to give it some kind of upgraded system that wasn't your typical Power Commander, right? Because Power Commander only does fueling, and then that's it. And they're pretty expensive, all in all. They're getting up there in price. So what we've done is we've now came out with a Max Mini system that we're able to utilize on these bikes. So you're going to be able to have boost by gear, and you'll still have fueling control. Some of these bikes we're going to be able to control the ignition timing on based on how we're going to be able to set this up wiring wise. So we've also got we're going to have a high boost option for him. So he's going to have a scramble button on this bike. So he's going to have a low boost setting where it's still going to haul ass, and then he's going to be able to squeeze that. Basically, he's going to be able to hit the pass button and it trigger a high boost setting, or the high beams. It's going to be either or. So he'll be able to have that high boost setting on this thing. So if he ever wants to get real squirrely on it, go ahead, grab that button and let her eat. So we are in the final stages of it. The painter should be done here very, very soon with it. This right now on the outside, we just have this temporarily set up for our dyno tuning. So we're going to get this all dialed in on the dyno, and once it's all dialed in, we're going to pull this harness off of it and plug this system back up. Obviously, we need to put the fairings back on it and all that, but it's getting near the final stages. I know it doesn't look like much, but we are getting near the final stages on this thing. It's going to see the dyno very soon. So very excited for this build to get to the dyno, because we want to see what this Max Mini, we want to see kind of what it's going to do. We've been very excited to run this thing. It has a 3-bar map sensor built into it, so plenty of room to grow with this system. So if he really wants to, in a future date, if he wants to come back and say, hey guys, I want more power, then as long as that motor is capable of holding more power, it'll make the power. So he's on a Snowflake, so he's got a lockup clutch system on it. There's a lot of good components on that bike that'll allow him to grow into more power if he wants to. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty trick. It's a pretty cool system. So and like we said on the Power Commander, you really don't get a lot of these options. They do come with that 3-bar, their PITI system, but it's also kind of limited on what bikes you can get it for. They don't really sell that PITI system for everything. And that's their pressure system. So it'll be able to kind of hold the boost or control boost, if you will, or I should say, read the boost, not necessarily control it, but it'll be able to read the boost. But, you know, I've had my issues in the past with those. And to be honest, I don't want to say they're getting outdated, because Power Commander, Dyno Jet, they're always updating their stuff. But what I will say is that it's not as efficient as some of these other components can be. So that is going to be our test bike. We also have the Max Mini on a Busa that we're building. And we're also going to try it on a few other bikes. We have another Turbo 14. We have 2 Turbo 14s that are coming through the gates here. One of which we're building the motor on that you guys know about. The other one is a bike that is coming in here very soon that we're going to schedule up and get him underway. So we have quite a few turbo builds. You know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we got about 7 all in all. I think there's one over there too. So we have about 7 turbo builds going on currently. So that's what me and Sean want to target. Truthfully, we want to target a lot more turbo bikes. So if you guys have a turbo bike out there and you guys need some love on it, let us know. Please let us know. We'd love nothing more than to work on your turbo setup.
We've just been pretty much in the shop R&Ding some stuff up. We've got our own little piggyback kit now that we're pretty proud of. So we've teamed up with the guys at Max, and we're working on a little Max Mini deal here to work on a little 4 injectors that go up top. That way we don't interfere with the factory injectors, and we can take these little street bikes and make them run like stock ones and keep the stock gauges and all the stock controls, but still have all the tunability and all the the awesome stuff that the Max ECU offers.
The fun stuff.
Oh yeah, and it fits right back in this tiny little tail right here.
Yeah, I didn't show it too well, but yeah, that's how small it is. It's tiny.
About the size of your wallet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we've been able to fit quite a bit of stuff in here in a small space. Obviously, you guys know the 1000 class, they're getting smaller and smaller. So luckily, this unit is small and we're able to fit it on here. So, but yeah, man, this thing is close. So another cool thing that Sean's making are these trick little. He's making these little fuel pump harnesses too that are absolutely wild, and they're going to plug right in line with these Max Minis, and they're also going to be able to plug into the OEM harness setup as well. So really cool units. We're going to go over those more in detail with some of the other bikes. Because this one obviously is kind of a little bit of a hodgepodge of what we left off with. So Sean kind of was making it work with what we already had. Some of the other ones we'll go over in depth with you guys and show you guys these other harnesses that he's making that is absolutely trick and super cool harnesses. Absolutely cool harnesses. So
yeah, but this bike came out really nice, man. I mean, we all the boost controllers mounted real nice in here, and everything is done with the DT connectors, and this bike came out super nice, man. I spent, several days, kind of cleaning it up and, fixing all the wiring and making sure that everything's clean and ready to go. And this guy's going to have a really cool street bike. But, in as far as, what we do, I'm working on efficiency, so we want to have fuel pump harnesses laying on the wall. We want to have scavenge pump harnesses laying on the wall. So, as we do this and as we build these bikes, I'm just going to get more and more efficient on, having that stuff sitting here. That way we can start kicking these bikes out fast.
Yes.
We want to be able to bring bikes in and only have them here a month or two and then be back out to their owners and, them be enjoying them, having fun.
Yeah, that is a major goal. That is a big goal of ours is to, again, guys, like we know this project has taken a while, but there was some back and forth on where to even go with this bike, truthfully. There was some tug of war, if you will, but all in all, once we started getting a game plan and once we started getting the vision kind of laid out, then it was like, all right, now we have a direction. Let's start executing. So, and again, this is in the final stages. It's very close now. So the next real thing, again, we're waiting on the painter and all that to get the rest of the plastics and stuff. We know it's still stripped, but we are very close to being able to fire this thing up and get it to where we can at least jump it on the dyno and get it running on the dyno. so that way we can get some numbers produced and get it running. Once the other stuff comes in, we're going to swap the tanks out, put the new tank on, you know, put all the plastics on it and just and ride out from there. So it's very, very close. Very excited to see this thing make its final journey.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think we're only lacking just a couple fittings that, you know, should be here any day.
Any
But
day.
As soon as the fittings come in the mail, this thing will be on the dyno and tuned up.
Yeah, hell yeah. This was an OEM rebuild with a few little goodies inside of it. We put the Evil arm on it. We put a small stretch on it. We have the stainless brake line system on it. We did the stainless brake line, the Core Moto brake lines on the front. And we did a Heel Tech quick shifter. We got to get that all dialed in. We need to add some oil to it, all in all, but it does have enough oil. We can fire it up. So pretty trick. Now, I have not flashed this bike yet, okay? The reason why the check engine light is on is because the O2 sensor, we unplugged it. We need to, whenever we flash this ECU, we're gonna go ahead and delete that sensor out. So it's not gonna have a check engine when we're done, obviously, but for right now, it has a check engine, you know, given those reasons. So I have to do a couple of little things to the dyno room. Every day we're kind of chipping away at the dyno room. As you guys can tell, we just started preliminary kind of setting up our little hexagonal light system here. So we are doing a drop ceiling in the dyno room. I got to get all that finished too, but I was kind of getting tired of not having any lights in here. So I went ahead and assembled this light system and went ahead and threw it up there. So, you know, obviously we still got some things we got to clean up on the dyno room. We still have a bunch of crap all on the walls, and we have this AC unit up here that we're going to block off and actually make a good induction in the front there, have a good fan in the front there. So we're working on it. We're chipping away, but I will say this, it's been very, very chaotic. It's been very stressful trying to get this stuff done while completing jobs like this. So not only do we have this tune that we need to finish up today, we have a brand new 2024 ZX10R outside that we need to do a flash and ECU flash and dyno tune on. And we also have a 04 ZX10R with a Carpenter built motor. It's on nitrous, and that's on a Fuel Tech FT550. We've been trying to tune that over the last day or two. We've been running into a lot of mechanical issues that we've been finding out. He's had voltage issues. We've had fueling issues that Lewis and Sean, they rebuilt the whole entire fuel system with a inline fuel pump instead of an in-tank fuel pump that he was having problems with. It's been chaotic, to say none the least. So we're trying to get through everything. We're trying to muscle through this and obviously keep things moving and grooving while working on the building. It's been rough, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
She's been a doozy, but looks good now.
Yeah, it's getting there. So it's getting there, but it all takes time. Rome wasn't built in a month.
Nope.
We have the initial flash in here. This is a map that we've utilized for another customer. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna see how this thing runs and kind of do a little bit of a break-in, even though it has about 7 or 8 heat cycles already in this bike. We're gonna do kind of breaking in a little bit, kind of do some acceleration. We're gonna kind of speed the process up a little bit here, but just because it has quite a few heat cycles, but we're still gonna make sure we're safe. We're still gonna make sure it does all the things, but anyway, here we go. The motor's basically warmed up, so we're gonna let her eat. Guys, we appreciate you watching, and as always, thank you for the support. We greatly appreciate the support. We really do. If you guys haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button, please. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think about the new shop. Tell us what you think about all the projects going on here. We have a ton of projects going on, and there are more projects lined up to come in already, but we're here for it. We're ready for them, so keep them coming. So I'll show you guys around. I'll do that on the next video. We'll show you guys around on the showroom floor. We got a few new additions, but we'll walk around next week and we'll show you guys some more of that. So with that being said, thanks again, guys. We'll see you on another episode.